Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the third one. A new battleground. The quest to protect the vulnerable Alamegans leads to Ul'dah. Here to see Commander Aldin, I'll take you. This way, please. Our request for an audience with the Sultana has been accepted. Before we depart, I'll share what we've learned since we last spoke. The blasphemy continues to elude us, all the while driving others to succumb to despair and turn. Even the Alamegan and Ul'dah forces, searching for signs of the beast and more powerful victims, we've yet to discern a pattern in the chaos. Nevertheless, if our blasphemy is like others, its behavior is likely dictated by the passions and regrets of the man it once was. Therefore, any information concerning him and the life he led may help us track it down before it strikes again. We don't want people to shun the families of the skulls any more than they already are, but the fact remains that the vast majority of the beasts have been born from them. They're the ones at greatest risk of turning, without question. Verdola concerns me too. She came close to transforming once before, so I think it might be best if we keep her out of this after all. I don't think she's gonna like that. Seems like a waste of a capable officer. She deserves a chance to make amends. I'm inclined to agree with Brillian. She was able to resist the transformation and has shown no signs of succumbing since then. If she wants to do her part, I say we let her. He's worried about her. If only I could go in her stead, bruh. Actually, I was hoping you'd come with us to meet the Sultana. Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna get the wheelchair over there, but okay. I believe she would benefit greatly from your understanding of the struggles of our people face. You'd gain more experience too. While she's not the sort to brandish a sword and charge into battle, you'll soon discover she's a champion at her own area, as brave as any warrior. I doubt she'd have much to learn from the likes of me, but it would be an honor to make her acquaintance. Yeah, I guess he hasn't met her. Because, I mean, like, Sultana is an important figure in Ul'dah, so it's, like, kind of weird that we are just on good terms with all the leaders of the city-states. Arnwald and I will go on ahead and wait for you at the hustling strip. We'll see you anon. Okay, Raubahn. Isn't the hustling strip where the cat girls are dancing? Oh no, the hustling strip is the upper level. It's the third or fourth quest. I think we're on the fourth quest. This is a new battleground. Okay, this is the third quest. Okay, let's go ahead and teleport over to Ul'dah. Go to Thanlin and Ul'dah. Oh, right, where are we? Yeah, hustling stripped. Let's see, it should be up here? Not here. Yeah, over here. Oh, there's Papa Sean. It's the first time I've been back here since I, discharged myself from the infirmary, without telling anyone. Mind. I must remember to stop by and offer my thanks, and an apology. I only let her out of my sight for a moment. Of course she's gone. Master Papashan has just telling us that Nanamo, or should I say Lady Llyra, has gone on another of her jaunts about the city. Of course she has. Though it is not my place to question her grace's judgment, I do wish she had consulted me before running off on her own. And perhaps I'm overthinking it, but it's unlike her to keep guests waiting. If I may say so, sir, With blasphemies running around throughout the land, it's a dangerous time to be going for a stroll. I suspect that may be the very reason she wishes to see for herself how the citizenry fares in these trying times. Even so, it's downright reckless. We'll find her, though. No, I couldn't possibly allow such esteemed guests to... Come now, we might have been on official business, but we're old friends. And as you may remember, I've a knack for tracking down such aired sultanas. Some might say that knack is rather charitable. Ahem, I should be glad of the assistance. I'll take a look around here. Quizzing the locals will give me an opportunity to learn of recent goings-on in Ul'dah, too. Well then, there's no time like the present. Fear not. With me on the case, this'll be over before you know it. Also, you'd think they'd do a little bit better on the model, not having Arnvold's hands rotate when he turns. Just between you and me, Raubahn has never had much luck at finding Lady Lilira. Rather the opposite. Which isn't to say that he's misrepresenting his capabilities. Perhaps his recollection of events simply differs somewhat from reality. He's not actually good at it. If she's supposed to be meeting us here, maybe we should wait for her to come to us? No, I don't think that'll work. Okay, so where are we supposed to be looking? Over at Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Let's head on over there. Yeah, right over there. Of course, she's at the markets. Or no, I guess we're going to be questioning the locals, right? Oh no, Raubahn's over here. That means we definitely shouldn't be looking here. It's been some time since I last combed the streets for young Lilira. As a matter of fact, Parmesan and I would compete to see which of us could find her first. As I recall, most of the contest ended in my favor. Are they both lying? The trick, you see, is to look past the disguise and pay attention to the gestures and mannerisms, the tiniest movements that might give her away. Come, I'll show you how it's done. Follow Raubahn, try not to fall behind. Got RP walk with a Big Daddy here. She's fond of pursuing the stalls here. If she's not here, where could she be? Maybe she's out in... What if she's been abducted? Raubahn. In one of these pots, perhaps? Perhaps not. Raubahn. I've never known her to be this... difficult. Go with difficult. That's odd. I've tried her usual haunts, so unless she's hiding inside a barrel or something equally nonsensical, she must be elsewhere. Gods, why did she choose now of all times to run off? What if she's been abducted or been run afoul by a beast? Raubahn. Don't need to assume the worst, we should keep looking. Perhaps we could try asking around. I was about to suggest the same. We'll find her a lot quicker if we start by narrowing down who we're going to ask. Come to think of it, something Parmesan said caught my ear. He thought Nanamo went on this excursion because of the emergence of the blasphemies and beasts, to better understand how her people are coping with the situation. If so, she'd be driven to seek out the most desperate and dissolute. Pearl Lane, then. Might I ask you to lead the way? Ultimately, my ability to track missing persons may have dulled somewhat. Or you never had it in the first place. Pearl Lane has been ever plagued by pickpockets and the like. I'll watch your back, so go ahead and give the search For Lilira, your full attention. I don't really want to lose 47.9 million gil in the back streets, but okay. Raubahn not accompanying you, Endwalker following mechanics. Yeah. Let's see, yeah, it's over here. We gotta go down the back alleys. While it may not be immediately obvious, conditions have improved considerably of late. Her Grace continues to support the rebuilding efforts in Girobanya, which has led to the creation of jobs for many of the locals, both here and on the other side of Belsar's wall. Well, that's interesting. In every society, there are haves and have-nots, and seldom is it divide more sorely felt than here in Ul'dah. Many of the young and able-bodied workers work for Lord Lorito as guards, though he earns more in an afternoon than most will in a lifetime. Yeah, that's for sure. Lord Dorito. Oh, there she is. No. Lady Lilira. Raubahn, what are you doing here? And Brilliant too. Well, I'm glad to see you both. Our meeting is not yet due to commence for several bills. What is the meaning of this? No. We were worried, and with good reason. There are far too many dangerous times to be roaming about alone, Your Grace. Some things never change, but I assure you, I'm quite capable of looking after myself. And in my own city of all places. More importantly, I wish to observe firsthand how the people have been faring of late. I might be better prepared to participate in our discussion later, but I've finished, and you will be comforted to hear. Then pray allow us to escort you to more amenable surroundings. Would you care to ride on my shoulder? Certainly not. You've attracted more than enough attention. Raubahn. You don't just ask a Lala to ride on your shoulder. That's how you end up with a broken leg. Kneecap. Trust me, I know. I had every faith you and the commander would find her. I'm feeling the search would have taken rather long if Raubahn had been left to his own devices. Papashan, please. Why couldn't you have helped? I thank you all for making the journey here during these difficult times. And it is my pleasure to properly make your acquaintance. On behalf of the people of Eorzea, allow me to express my sincerest gratitude for your continued dedication to our cause. With respect, Your Grace, I'm just a soldier. Was a soldier. Still, I say, Commander Aldine would not make such a distinction, and neither will I. You yet serve your people, and have provided solace to many of Alamigo's most vulnerable. If we are to deal with this threat, we must forearm ourselves with knowledge. I understand you come bearing information regarding the blasphemy and its victims. We have indeed. Hence the need to locate the family of Crania Lupi members who have fled to Thanalin. There is no end to the struggles faced by Alamigan refugees, and those who once pledged allegiances to the Empire are no exception. But rest assured that Irrespective of their pasts, all will be treated with an even hand. All will be afforded such aid as I am able to provide.
Magnanimous as always, Your Grace. If I might be a bit so bold, I have a question. What do you have in mind for those at risk of undergoing the change?
Nothing. I believe there is but one recourse.
Slaughter them all.
Earnest and open dialogue. While some are born into unimaginable wealth, others suffer great hardship and oppression. The circumstances of our birth are beyond our control. Our fates subject to the whims of the gods, some would argue. I once thought myself a prisoner to my fate, a figurehead, helpless to watch on as my people starved, a powerless puppet.
That was 1.0.
I wanted nothing more than to cast it all aside, to free us all, but failed for my nativity.
I know it's naive, but I don't remember how you actually say that.
And then was afforded a second chance for my privilege. The world is unfair, terribly so, but we have the power to push back against inequalities and injustices, if not overcome them on blessed occasions, to love our neighbors and share in life's bounties, to open our hearts and come together as one.
Truer words have never been spoken.
But without the support of the people, such words are not but vain platitudes. Thankfully, my recent attempts to make inroads with the monetarists have met with some success. Despite differing views on many subjects, we yet strive to find common ground.
Common ground. We've been pouring all our efforts into aiding families of Crania Lupi, and while it seems to help it to a degree, some have still succumbed and turned. Of course, they're not the only ones in danger. Alamegans everywhere, whether they sided with the Empire, fought with the Resistance, or were caught in the middle, they all suffered. They all wake up in the night at times, haunted by memories of death and despair. We know what can happen if those feelings are left to fester.
The legacy of the Imperial occupation will not soon be forgotten, but rather than seek to forget, mayhap it is necessary to remember, to acknowledge and accept the truth of it, that they may properly mourn those they have lost.
A remembrance. I propose we hold a memorial ceremony for those who died during the war. Everyone, no matter who they were or what they did, let them be loved, let them be hated, but above all, let them be remembered. And in the remembering of the dead, in their honor and their sin, we, the living of the Alamigo, may yet find a sliver of common ground. It's a noble sentiment, but bringing people together who have reason to distrust one another and risk inflaming tensions could be a recipe for a disaster. Raubahn, please. Then again, we can't keep ignoring the merit in the room and do nothing to address the situation. As long as we leave it to the individuals to decide whether or not to attend the ceremony, I think it's worth a try. Organizing an event of this scale will require a great deal of effort, so I offer my full support. Once you know what's needed, come to me and we'll put the plan into action. Obviously, some will balk at the idea, which is perfectly understandable, so I'll be listening to their opinions as well. After all, we want it to be a ceremony that brings Alamegans together. It's an interesting idea. And I was wondering, Your Grace, if I might ask about your approach to, well, talking to people, winning them over. As you can tell, I'm no politician,
so I'd be grateful for any advice you could share with me. Why, I would be delighted to. As a matter of fact, I have a number of matters I wish to discuss with you.
And on that note, I suggest you and I return to Alamigo. That was pretty interesting, and Arnwald's getting a bit of tutoring from the Sultana, because the Sultana's Anonymous learned a bit on how to be a politician and well, a Sultana. Wonder what Alb and Auli would say if they could see me I had chatted with the Sultana. I can hardly believe it myself. To see the Sultana grow to become such a capable and compassionate leader, it brings a tear to my eye.
The relationship between Ul'dah and Alamigo is one which I cherish deeply. It is imperative that we coordinate our efforts in facing this crisis.
Yep. And on that note, let's go ahead and head on back over to the Alamigan Quarter. And I knew Arnwald would make a good impression, but he's outdone himself. Not only has he found a new avenue in life to explore, he's taken to it with considerable aplomb. And while his proposed memorial ceremony is bound to have its detractors, I have faith that many will come around. Not all, but enough, I pray. For our part, we must stand at the ready for whatever may occur. I shall send word if there are any developments.